preliminary budget hearing to order. Anybody have any comments on the preliminary budget? Nobody?
I can't tell a lie, I would have liked some of it.
Anything on the commission?
I would like them to break it down when they put it on the bill between the city and park board type deal, because everything gets bundled into one deal, so you don't really understand it.
That would be something you could talk to the
Yeah,
committee about, I guess.
but that's my only comment. That way, it would be separate.
Chelsea, has anybody written anything or called in on that?
No, I have not had anything.
Okay. Okay, no other comments, then we'll close the preliminary budget hearing. Okay, awesome. All right, with that, we will the September 13th, 2021 meeting will be called to order. First is approve the August 23rd, 2021 minutes. Everybody have a chance to review those? You're on.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second. Discussion? Colin?
Aye. Aye.
Yes. Yes. Okay, the August financials. Chance to review them.
Motion to approve the August financials.
Second. Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Yes. Lori Blodsky, raffle permit. Is that you? Come on up.
Having me. I am the president of TAG, which is a teen alternative group here at Washburn School, and we provide an after prom party for the students and their dates. In previous years, we've gone to Planet Pizza in Minot and had a party there that lasted till, I think it lasted till like 3, 4 o'clock or something like that. We provide transportation instead of a safe alternative for after prom. What we have done for a fundraiser in past years is it's a 50-50 drawing. We sell tickets, and for football, I believe the drawing is after the third quarter, and however much we've raised at that time, we take half of that and give that to the winning ticket. And so I'm asking for a permit to do that at the homecoming game, which is October 1st.
This is just a one-day event then?
Well, at this time, we would like to do it a few times during the basketball season as well, but I don't have dates for that right now, as I don't have approved dates for that. So right now, it's just
one time.
for the one time. Yeah.
Any questions from anybody? Think it's a good deal? Yeah.
Yeah, make a motion to approve the permit.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. Very easy.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I'll get you the permit.
Okay. Thank you.
David Jeffrey?
I haven't heard from him, so.
You haven't heard from him?
No.
Okay, we'll just hold off on that one then. Elaine Carmen, Rusty Box, speed limit sign.
We would like to request a speed limit sign down there where we live with the, with Heltwitz, that family that moved in, and the Wolski's family that moved in with young children. They're getting older and want to ride bike and stuff. And with the Freed family there on the corner at Mart's, I think that there is a need for a speed limit sign down there. The traffic is getting much higher, especially in the evenings, and they're speeding, and that road, the dust is just fine. And we would also like to have slow children playing on that sign, for both directions.
We have a bunch of children going up back and forth. That's,
Yes.
I mean, going to the swim pool, you can tell that's what the traffic is.
There's walkers back there.
And
I'd like to make a comment if I could. Since I live my name's Kent, since I live on the corner of the old Mark's house, a lot of people I see walk their dogs and their kids along that dirt ground. And I've seen ATVs come flying through the ditch by the railroad tracks, turn and fly down that road. And I don't mind the kids running their ATVs, but they need to slow down.
I know where your house is at. That's very true.
That's just my opinion, because I've got this one here.
Right, I understand that. I guess the way I look at it is, this is an enforcement problem, really. I mean, everybody that has a license knows, when you get your driver's test, speed limit in town, residence area is 25 miles an hour. Everybody knows that. If you don't, then you shouldn't have a license.
Okay, how come?
That's what I'm speaking. So, I mean, it's an enforcement thing. If you see people doing something, then you should be calling the sheriff's office and saying, hey.
We have. I have called the sheriff's office, and I have asked them and told them that there's excessive speeding down there, and there's kids, they think that it's so much fun to raise the dust or make all those little turns down there and stuff, and I've asked them to come down there and to patrol it more often.
But do you really think a speed limit sign is going to change anything?
But it, at least,
It doesn't.
You told me not to talk, so I'm not going to talk.
but at least, it shows,
What?
it, at least, the cops can say, okay, there's a speed limit sign right there, and they can't deny it. They have them in other places.
25, I don't know if I'm allowed, it's the general speed limit in town, which is 25, it's way too fast down there. It's gravel. You can't stop like you can on pavement. When you have children, you have bikers, you have dogs, people walking dogs, you can't stop at doing 25 on that road with the curb. It's just not feasible. A gravel road in town is kind of odd in the first place, in the city limits, but it's Washburn, it's a small town, I get it, but...
We could always pay this if you wanted to pay the specials.
No.
Now, we can
I
get
would
a
rather
sign
pay
put
for
up.
a speed limit
How
sign.
come Miss Elaine was denied a speed limit sign?
I'm sorry?
They told her that they would not allow the money for the speed limit sign up. What is up with that?
Who told that?
I was told that the guys, whoever the guys are, determined that there wasn't enough traffic down there to warrant a speed sign. Really?
Eli,
Who are the guys?
can you just specify so people understand what you're talking about, like what down there is, just so I know it's gonna be a
Where we all
question.
live.
But people don't, I know, but some people don't know where you live, so I'm just trying to make it easier so people understand what you're talking about.
Okay, you go down here past there's Cooley, and it's the first road going east, it's 11th Street. And you go down towards the city compound.
If there was a street sign out there, we don't know.
And it goes around and it connects to 14th Street.
What does the street sign cost, Adam? What's the deal?
They denied us
About
getting one.
$35.
I'm asking a question.
135-ish.
So you're wanting like 4 signs, 2 on each post and then post.
But not 25 miles an hour. I think that's too fast, seriously. And can you put like one of those speed counters or traffic counters across there? I'm serious.
No, it's
I mean,
bad.
Those are very expensive.
Very.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Hey, we made them. I mean, that, we know
I
how
don't know
much
if
they
y'all ran them,
cost.
but I mean, I'm serious, the traffic.
With the radar and
we
stuff
bought
on them?
down there
Yeah.
Has gone up, since we've owned our home a couple of years now, and
So when you call the sheriff's office, what do they say?
Well, when I first called her, she said, really? And she says, I'll tell the guys right now and have them go down there and, but where I live, I don't see how often they go by. But I talked to Rusty and he said, well, they don't go by there very often. Well, you know, maybe I have to get on them a little bit more too. I don't know, but
Right.
The sheriff's department, they know where we're at, they know the issues and stuff. But it's hard to enforce it when you don't have, I mean, a $35 street sign.
Like, but the thing is, signs don't slow anybody down.
Can
just
I
so you
put it
know
up
that.
and then?
Just so you know that.
well, yeah, we know that. I
It
know
slows
that.
me down, if I see a 35-mile-an-hour sign, I'm gonna slow down.
You might.
Okay.
it might make people think, I don't know, that maybe they are monitoring it more closely. Hard to say.
Yes, ma'am.
So down at, we just moved.
Speak
from
loud,
Bismarck.
because it's being recorded, please.
Okay, that's fine. We moved from Bismarck a year ago. We have 2 granddaughters. We used to have, in the trailer court we lived in, they had speed bumps. They would take them out in the winter and not put them up till about the middle of the summer again. We got to the point, we throw out a ball, make people slam on their brakes because they were not paying attention because we had 2 little granddaughters. I mean, I can do that again here too if I have to. I mean, we need to do something though.
Well, right, like I said, you know, signs don't slow anybody down.
Right.
It's enforcement that slows
Okay.
them down. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
$35?
That's what it
You're not
is,
gonna
so.
spend the $35 to go put up a sign?
It might be a start, maybe it would kind of help.
Well, speed bump would do a lot better, like up by my place where everybody comes racing, they hit it so hard that the oil filter comes rolling off the car down the street.
Oh,
The thing is,
Yeah.
people speed all over town.
And
I mean, there's
Put a
no
speed
question
bump
about
up
that.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
And they tried to justify it saying there's not enough traffic down there. Then we got more traffic down there than you can ever imagine. Because my cameras are on it, I'll show you coverage of.
well, then, if you have cameras, why don't you show the cameras to the police, and then they can pick them up? I mean, it's simple.
You can't, you
Why
really
can't
can't
the
do that
city
from
put
a
up a-
legality
Yeah, you can.
standpoint.
Yeah, you can. Trust me, you can.
Putting it to the street.
So that means that you're not gonna do nothing about it.
Not really, it's public
We
street.
catch them kind of,
You're not gonna put a sign up,
you know,
is what you're telling me.
I'm not saying that. I'm
Well,
just
I'm
saying-
that's what I'm
gonna say
thinking.
something here. I think we piss away enough money in town. Let's put some signs up. You know, it's not, the signs, just for the record, aren't gonna stop the speeders. But if it makes you feel better, I think we should put some signs up, we gotta make an effort.
And I don't
Do
wanna call the
something.
sheriff's department every time it turns around.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can do. I mean, we can, you know.
Why do I want all the sheriff's department out there every time that somebody goes speeding by?
Right.
You know, that's an effort, I mean, the least amount, don't you agree, Ms. Lane? That we can do to try to slow them down,
You know.
you know?
But are you gonna be back in 6 months complaining again? That the signs are up, but they're not slowing down.
Then I'll call the sheriff's department.
Back here.
at least you've taken that first step, you know, and then we just-
Are you saying you don't want me back here in 6 months?
That's right.
I mean, let's make an attempt. I mean, that's the least attempt that we can make. Otherwise, I'll call the sheriff's department every time, you know. I mean, is that not correct?
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we put some signs up. Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Thank you.
You probably specify what it's on.
Yep.
Okay. Again, I mean, we can put 5 mile an hour signs up, people are still gonna drive by at 25.
Okay.
You know, it's, you know.
If the signs are up, then I can call the sheriff's department and say, hey.
What is a reasonable speed?
So I don't wanna call the law on her for going 6 miles an hour or with
No, but
anything else.
what's a reasonable speed down there?
And another.
I think 25 is a reasonable speed.
You know,
I think it's more.
I'm back in that area, you know, I don't spend a lot of time, but I do spend a fair amount of time back there. I don't see a lot of traffic. I see a lot of people walking.
I am
Some
handicapped,
traffic,
and I sit there in my chair in my front window all day long watching it.
Then if they're coming during the day, I'm sorry, I'm working during the day, but.
And also, I gotta tell you, I'll bring it up,
Yeah.
I know he's sitting right behind me, that the city employees are just buzzing through there all the time.
I'm gonna say.
Everybody got quiet
25
there.
On gravel, 25 is too fast on there.
We can always pave it.
Hey, actually, it might not be, you know, unless it's like $1 million to do it.
Well, you'd have to pay for it.
Well,
I know, that's the
put a
best
toll road up for people that don't live in our neighborhood.
Well, you know, we got, like, where children play signs, and the speed limit is 15 miles an hour.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we could do that down there and put a 15-mile-an-hour sign where children have play or whatever.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't slow it down, then you should call the sheriff's department.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
That's a reasonable effort to try to alleviate the
Yeah,
situation.
So is that your
I
motion?
disagree with the 15. I really do. Because the people that have kids, except for you on the corner, people have to slow down at the corner because they have to stop, right?
There's a corner right there, there are railroad tracks.
Right, you live on the corner by Main Street, right?
Yep.
So people have to slow down there, right? So, and then the other ones are Wolski's, and they live off the road, and then also Hillswets, they live off the road. And I actually talked to him today, and he said he said he's fine with it just the way it is. So, he said he did not want to be involved in this at
Because
all.
he's one of the biggest speeders.
And when I talked to
Whatever.
him, he agreed with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I'm just saying. So I think 15 is way too low. That's my personal opinion. I mean, somebody can make a motion and we can go. from there.
Well, I'm gonna say, I'm looking at the people that live down there that are requesting it. I don't live, I mean, I live close there, but I don't drive on that road.
Mhm.
I guess I'm just gonna make a motion, amend my motion to.
You never did finish your motion.
Okay, then I'll make a new one. To place some speed limit signs down there, 15 miles an hour, along with the children at play, whatever it is, on both ends of that street,
Okay.
Can you specify the street?
the gravel street.
So it would be
I
by
don't know what
14th
street
Street,
it is.
it'd be by 14th Street and on Main Avenue, is that what you're saying?
14th Street and,
First Avenue.
First Avenue.
Yeah.
And 11th Street. There's no right on 11th and Main.
That's your corner.
I'm talking about 11th and Main. Main Avenue is where the gravel starts.
Yeah.
Yep.
On
Oh,
11th,
so
and then
from
it
there-
ends on 14th
Yep.
Street.
from there to the tracks and then down to whatever, 14th, is that what it is?
And one on each end is what you're saying.
One on each end?
Can we get some, stop signs at the railroad tracks?
Just,
People
hey,
don't-
wait, just a minute. We're working on this right now. That could be another discussion.
Yeah.
So, what you're saying, my question is, those two ends is what you're
Yep,
saying?
correct.
Okay. Okay, that's your motion.
That'd be my motion.
I'll second it. Okay. Further discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. I'm gonna vote no. Okay, it passed. Okay, we'll get those put up.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for
And
coming
you said
in.
something about stop signs?
Everything 15 feet from the railroad is railroad right away. That goes by the FRA regulations.
Right.
Yeah, that is-
But if they don't stop, go around the corner.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you want stop signs by the railroad tracks, you have to contact the FRA about that and go through the DMVW. That's railroad property.
Okay. Very good.
Fair enough.
Okay, Rusty, you're up for a utility pole.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are you thinking?
You know where, the end of my last fence I put up, where I'm doing the building permit to do the construction around there, they got an electric pole right out there in the middle of everything.
Okay.
I'd like to have them put that in the easement instead of in the middle of our property.
I believe it's in the easement, I would guess.
No, I've already checked with the county, and I'm sorry, I'm not up there, I guess I should be, because I'm part of this, because I'm a owner of the property. No, we checked, there's no lien and no utility easements or anything, it's on our property. It needs to be just moved over a little bit.
So you've done a survey on your property to?
Yeah.
Oh, we've had several.
Okay.
We even
So-
talked to Tony at the bank and brought up all the old records and the titles and deeds from back to the 1800s, I think. There's never been any kind of a utility easement for our property that's ever been signed off on by anybody that's ever owned the property. It was just a mistake back in the day. They just have it too far in, kind of like the road that when you moved the road, you know, remember it cut through the corner of our property and they had to actually move it over and square it off. And I think that's probably when it all happened back then. You know.
Well, actually, that's owned by Otter Tail. I mean, if you got an issue with that, it's between you and Otter Tail.
Well, we've
Okay,
talked
they
on
had an agreement with the city, is what they told us.
Yeah.
That we have an agreement, a verbal agreement with the city that we can have that pole there. Well,
I
Is it an
don't know
alleyway?
anything about that.
No.
well, who's the city? Who do I need to talk to?
The thing is, they own that pole.
But
You
it's
know,
on our property.
I
And
own
they're
that
saying,
land. They
they're
don't pay
saying
the
you, the
taxes on
city,
it.
told them that it was okay to put it there, and I'm like, the city doesn't own that little, that
That pole has
property.
been there forever.
Yeah, and nobody's been going to develop that property until we bought it and we want to develop it now, and we've joined it with our property, with our house. So
Yeah,
now it's
people
become
have
an
owned
issue.
that property forever, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Danny
Miscellaneous
Krantz
owned it
that.
at one point, and your husband, you know, they sold it to Danny Crest, and we bought it from Danny. So nobody's developed it all these years, it's only been undeveloped property forever. So that's why it's come up now,
Okay.
because now it's going from undeveloped property to, we're going to do something with it. And now this pole is like, boom, right there.
Is that the only pole there?
There's
It-
more on the easement part.
That's the only one we have an issue with,
How far?
because it's on our,
I'm sorry, finish.
Oh, go ahead.
How far onto your property is it?
Probably 25 to 30 feet.
No, I don't think so. There's no way it can't be. 25 to 30 feet onto your property?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way.
The survey marker where the fence starts, it's the corner line of our fence is where that fence is, that borders the road, and to the Wolski's property, the one, you know which one I'm talking about. That is the corner marker there, and you can see where the pole is in, at least, I'm guessing, 25, 30 feet onto our property.
You know where I got that pound of dirt out
So you're
there?
talking about 25, 30 feet from the fence. I'm talking about how far is in,
From the easement.
from the right of way of the road.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, from the right of way of the road?
That's
It's
what I'm
on our
talking about.
property, it's not even in your right of way of the city.
But how far is it in there?
From, I guess I'm not understanding what you're asking.
Well,
From our fence line is 20 feet in.
It's in on our-
I'm not talking about, I'm talking about from the road. You know, you have a road there, there's a right of way of like
Okay.
80 feet.
From the roadway?
From the
it's-
road, there's
it's
like,
over-
there's like an 80
it's
foot
over-
right of way there.
It
Okay, it's not in that right of way?
it is not in their right of way.
My question is, how far past the right of way is that pole?
It is 20, 25 feet.
You know, no, it can't be.
No, I understand what you're saying, but the road curves inward, so the road is not straight. So the whole line of the whole property line, from where our property starts on the one corner and goes over to the property we bought from Danny Crest, is at a weird angle. It
Okay.
kind of cuts over, and your road, your city easement kind of curves, you know, your road curves around in a weird way. So I don't know.
About all I can say right now is I can come and look at it.
Yeah, because we have had
you
it
know,
surveyed several times.
Yeah, but I can come and look at it and see, because obviously you're not getting what I'm saying. You're not.
No, I'm
think
getting,
you are.
I'm getting what you're saying. You're saying from the actual road, but is,
Not from the road, from the right of way.
yeah.
There's a
from-
difference between the road and the right of way.
We're about 20, 25 feet away from the right of the easement. We're that far back in, where that pole's at.
It can't be. That means, what you're saying is, that means the easement is in the middle of the road.
Possibly.
It's not.
I mean, we need to
How
check
come
it
they moved the
out.
city, how come they moved the city road over there?
We need to check it out.
If we're wrong, you're being,
Like I said, I need to
Okay,
come and look
let's-
at it.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's-
no,
let's-
that's all we ask.
you want to
Let's-
look at my fence again?
Please
Let's-
I had
don't
this
look
thing
at
Quiet.
surveyed more times and.
Let's table this, let's get a chance to look at the damn thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then make a
Try to figure
decision.
out
We can
what's
sit here and
wrong.
argue all night long.
Because there's no...
Because I'm sure the electric company would pull it out and just shut off electricity.
Oh, I asked them. They said they had a verbal agreement with the city.
That's the main line.
Oh, it's the main line.
It's the main line.
Yeah, that's where we're having an issue, and the pole needs to be replaced anyway, that's why we started
Oh, the
talking
pole,
to
the
them
pole's
about
been
it.
on fire.
It's been hit by lightning, and it's like...
For the,
Okay.
for the verbal agreement, something that happened years and years ago, can be changed by the power company, because we have no idea on the board
Yeah,
here who,
you don't know who
I have
said
no
that
idea,
a million
or why
years
it was
ago.
put in the first place.
And they probably said yes, whoever had the land, just to get electricity there.
It's possible, you're right.
And, you know.
But it's main line.
So we'll do some
But anyway,
checking into it.
anyway,
Let's move
it's
on.
That's
tabled.
what I want, that's
We'll
what we
just move
want.
on. Yeah, we'll come and look at, I'll come and look at it, and I'll talk to you guys, so.
Yeah, we'll see
Okay,
what's going on.
we'll table it for now.
It just affects a big
Believe me,
portion of our
Larry, I know
property,
this.
that's why.
Yeah, and I think we can figure it out.
I know you do, yeah.
Because, you know, you have a limit around what you can do around the pole.
Okay,
You know
okay,
what I'm saying?
yeah, we gotta move on, so,
Anyway. Okay, well,
Thank
that
you.
was our question.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
much.
right, thanks, guys.
Lions Club.
Are you happy with mine?
We're having a fundraiser on Sunday at the Memorial Building, and I'm asking for a waiver of fee. It's for Kathy Key, who is a cancer patient being treated at this time. The Lions are putting it on.
And what is the fundraiser, what is it?
You know what, we're gonna have a dine-in, takeout, and a dine-in. People can eat there, or they can call in and order food because of COVID. And we're gonna have a silent auction.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna adjust this, agreement real quick here, because it doesn't say upper level gym rental, but we gotta check that one in there.
Okay, well, you know, that's
It's
what
just
I'm
it's just a little formality, okay?
Okay.
Um,
And we're gonna use the kitchen
yes, I see that, so.
When is it?
Sunday.
Okay, right after Ducks Unlimited then.
Yep, that's the Saturday night. And as a matter of fact, but I was gonna take that up tomorrow, is maybe Ducks could leave their tables and chairs up for us. Because they're not gonna fill the hall with tables, it's not gonna be that many tables, and we don't want that many tables either.
Well, that'd be up to you guys, I guess.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, I guess how, is it, are the floors gonna need to be cleaned, like,
Well,
what
yeah.
kind of shape
The
is it
floors
gonna
need to be
be
cleaned,
in
that's another
from
question, yeah.
Saturday night to Sunday morning when it needs to be cleaned? If there's not a bunch of stuff, I mean, I don't see it being an issue, but I don't know what it's gonna look like, I don't want it looking like a mess come Sunday morning either, where it can't be cleaned.
I don't either, but I guess that if I've asked for it and that's what I get, I guess I'll be cleaning it. But,
Well-
you know, I would, but I don't expect that. I just thought, there's no sense putting the chairs and the tables away and taking them back out again.
Well, the tables are gonna be almost to the back there by the bar.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
That's a lot of tables to put away if you don't have that many people
Well,
there.
they're not gonna have that many people. They're not gonna fill that room.
I've never been to one, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're not, and tables against the wall, we need anyway to set up the silent auction.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that can be worked out.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll take them down when we're through, but,
So I'm gonna make a motion that we, waive the gym and the, kitchen fee for a half day for the, benefit.
Is that the upstairs kitchen?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, there will be, there was a deposit that you get back if everything's
Okay.
fine, so. Because whether it's free or not, you still gotta do the deposit.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, discussion. Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You'll just have to work it out.
Okay. Yep, we will.
Okay.
Yep. It's gonna be, the only reason for the tables and the chairs is because it's kind of a quick turnaround.
Right. Thanks, Colin. Okay, McLean County Auditor. Chelsea, you know anything about this?
Yeah, it's our annual health fair that McLean County hosts every year. It'll be November 4th. They always use the Memorial Hall down here, and they're asking for the waiver of fee for that. It's been waived in the past.
So who's the health fair for? For anybody or?
It's all McLean County,
Employees or?
yeah.
It's for their employees?
The other deputies come down and there's a couple different people that,
Have we?
it's their health fair.
Have we waived the fee for them before?
Yes, it's been waived every year, I guess.
I make a motion to waive the fee for McLean County Health Fair.
Yeah, I'll second it. Further discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Yes. Park Board, sprinklers at ball field?
Yep.
Guys?
Oh.
So-
Oh, here, Judy's up there.
Obviously, I'm here
You
to
come up too if you want.
It's my, no, guys.
So I'm here to represent the park board. Is what the park board is interested in doing is in front of the community garden, we have the soccer nets set up, and we have a large amount of kids that are out for soccer this year, about 140 kids that we have out this year, which is a very good thing. So what the park board is interested in doing is, in front of the community garden, being that we have such a large amount of kids that are there when we have soccer games, if we run into years where there's not as much water as there was like this year, it gets really dry, really dusty, obviously the kids don't have nice grass to play on, so what the park board is interested in doing is putting 2 legs off of the softball field, pre-existing underground sprinkler system, and we'd like to run 2 legs in front of the community garden to water that grass so those kids can play on some decent grass.
And they're playing, they've got fields stretched out almost to the water treatment, you know, where the pool goes up. There's that many fields, that many nets.
And there's no parking down there. That's a mess.
I know.
That's bad. Not good.
So you're saying 2 legs, that means 2 legs, you just run out and then you run
Yeah, we
so
would
many sprinklers on each leg, is that what you're saying?
tie into
10
the
sprinklers.
pre-existing system and then just run 2 lines off of that pre-existing system and then probably have it within my understanding, its own zone. So obviously when baseball's going on, you're not watering that, and then once soccer gets ready, you can turn it on type deal, so you're not wasting the water.
Sure.
How many feet you talking about?
It would be at the same distance that the one pre-existing is at. I don't know exactly how deep it would be, I would assume.
Not how deep, how much pipe you talking
Oh,
I figured.
yeah. I don't know if it
Probably
was quite that much.
They play. They've got their nets lined up almost to the hill going up for the water treatment plant. So it's the whole area from the baseball field. They play on the field and all the way to the water treatment.
And it was brought to my attention that property was owned by the city. The city wanted to give it to the park board, but the park board hasn't gotten that survey yet. So really is what should probably happen before we, go and put those lines in. We should really have that property surveyed so we know where the cutoff line is.
Right.
If you would agree with that.
I would think that'd probably be the best.
Yeah, get that surveyed and then
Yeah.
feed it over to the park board
Exactly.
prior to the...
I have some information on that I looked up, some measurements and stuff that would probably help with that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So, and I have that at home, I've been meaning to do that, I just haven't had time. But,
Well, it's, it's just like everything else. We're kind of getting bigger and there's more kids in town
Yeah.
and it's bringing more kids out to these sporting events. Thank
Right.
goodness somebody brings them out,
Right.
But, and the parents are all young enough to walk away, so it's okay. Drop the grandparents off.
Yeah.
Well, I think we really need to support our, youth and all
Yeah.
the different activities. So.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. The thing is, I guess you're asking to put in more sprinklers because we give you the water. Is that why you're asking?
I think it was more so for us, it was, we spoke about it at the commission meeting, and the big thing was The interest, the amount of interest that we have for the activity going on right now, we felt it was necessary to go forward with that decision because it would make it more user-friendly for what they're doing. If it was a deal where we only had, 10 or 20 kids going out, it'd be a different story. But if it's 140 kids every year, it's a good thing that we can really keep going on. So it brings us opportunities to have more games, because it's under my assumption that what Brock was telling us was they're limited to how many games they can have because of the condition of the grass.
Right.
They can have 2 games in the main field, whereas if they have this other spot that's fixed up a little bit, they'd be able to have maybe 4 or 5. So it'd give us an opportunity to have more teams come and have more people come into the town.
I get that, that's actually wasn't my question. My
Yeah.
question was, if you own the land, you can do what you want with it, you can put in
Yep,
sprinklers.
but we
Yeah.
don't own it.
Well, we'd have to get it surveyed.
You'd have to get it surveyed.
Yeah.
but,
But our big thing was we just wanted to, come to you guys and
Yeah.
ask you guys if it would be a problem with the city at all,
How much expense are you looking at?
We would have.
Well,
And you know what, if we had a good rainy year,
you wouldn't use it at all.
no, we wouldn't be asking
Yeah.
for water, but
Right.
it's pretty crisp out there for the kids to play on.
So I'm thinking
so.
you're thinking like right away, or you thinking this year you're just gonna
I
put out
think
some
it would
sprinklers?
probably
or-
not. I think it would probably, if we did do it this year, obviously we have to get the ground surveyed first. It'd be later on into the year, if not maybe going into next,
That's kind of what I'm
spring.
thinking, yeah.
I would think spring would be an appropriate time to take on a project like that, just
Right.
because, we would have all the way up until early fall, because that's when soccer would start.
Right, yeah,
So-
yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
They've got new dugouts going in
Mhm.
and a batting cage going in at the baseball, and this would just be an extension of that.
Right.
And it was amazing to me when baseball started out and kids were, soccer's crazy.
And I do want to say on behalf of the park board, we are very appreciative of all the water that you guys do give. I mean, the grass looks absolutely amazing, and if it wasn't for the
Looks really good.
city doing that, obviously it wouldn't look nearly as nice as it does. So I want you
Yeah.
guys to know we appreciate it.
Well, and that's, we felt we had to ask you before,
Right.
we made any.
Adam, we're
any attempt at
metering
one.
that, right? Everything goes-
Metered, yeah.
Okay, just so we got an idea what goes on there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
Get a hold of me and I'll show you all that stuff I got, because I got measurements and a lot of these different things.
And then
so.
I'll just take that to the next park board meeting.
Okay,
So-
very good.
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Thank
hey.
you.
Thanks guys for your time, appreciate it.
Oh, go step on that first.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for coming. Washburn School?
Okay, Brad had emailed me last week asking about, a sign going toward the school from 6th Street, or he doesn't see one from the direction of 7th Street. So we've gone back and forth on this with emails, trying to figure out for sure what exactly he means, because he couldn't be here today. So I drove around before I came back, and I looked at all the signs that are on there as for right now. There's one going up 7th Street, right by the cop shop. There is one coming from North Gate that goes into 6th Street, right across from the school where like the corner is with the playground. There's one across from the cop shop, if you're looking, say, east, that would take you to 6th Avenue then, and there's another one that comes from the other side on 7th Street going down, so that you're hitting them on all angles of the school. That say reduce speed and school zone 50 miles an hour. So Brad was asking if we could have another one. To clarify what he was, where he was referring to, being there was a sign on all 4 sides of it coming into it, he would like one closer to 6th Avenue and 7th Street coming up that hill on the corner of where the school is, which would be kitty corner from like the cop shop.
Isn't there a sign there already?
Not that close to the corner. Not that says school zone.
But there's one there, when you're about to head down the hill, there's one there. Or when you go past the school and you start going down, there's a sign on the right side.
And I think he wants it to face the other way, coming down on that corner there, but facing,
What he wants is a sign on the school corner heading west.
I'm
Going
guessing,
across
so that he
the-
can see it closer there, or people
Where
turning.
the elementary
kids are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I put a question mark on here, and that's where he told me, when I emailed it back to him, he told me where the question mark was, is where he'd like to
You know
see
where
a
that is?
sign.
You know, it's,
Yeah, I
You want
know.
my drawing?
But there's another sign, yeah, let me see that.
there's all kinds of signs.
I know, there's tons of signs, this
You
one.
can't get the cop any closer, so.
Here, right?
I don't know what.
No,
unless
he'd
it's
want
for
it
a
like right
legal
here.
reason.
Wait a minute.
Because there's one right
Oh, yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is 7th Street.
school, okay.
Yep.
You want
And that's
this
the
here.
school, and he'd want it like right there.
Cops don't even slow down going through
there. I know.
Because I've been behind them before, and they go 25, 30 through that.
I kind of thought about that too,
Even
because I
during
don't really know
school.
why this one's
Right.
here, but
Right.
then you have to stop
All
down
right.
there, but.
So
And the
what's the
elementary,
sign gonna do?
because the elementary school is like, where that question mark is where the elementary entrance is for one of them that I'm, majority of the kids use in the morning.
Okay, now where do you want this sign?
Right here,
Chelsea?
facing this way, going this way. Right here. This is 7th Street.
Because there's a sign right over here.
Well, that's going down. There's one right here going up the hill.
Yeah, that sign going down says, end of school zone.
Right, but
Yeah.
it
No,
says
this would
school
be-
zone.
This would be right here, going that way, because there's one here. One's one there going that way. This is where all the grade school kids come across and they pick up their all the kids.
Yeah, I know that.
Right on that stop sign, right? Is that where they want it? Right on?
Well, close to there. but-
Yeah, okay.
I'll make a motion that we put the signs up.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
That include the post too?
No.
Okay.
Just checking. Of course it does.
Just checking.
Hanging in
Depends what's
midair.
there. Depends what's there. I don't know what's there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
So when they did that project, that street project, they put those signs up, they used square posts, you wanna use square posts? To match the rest of them?
Do we have square posts?
No?
Then I guess we'll put up what we have. All right, parking ordinance, we need to update our parking ordinance. And this, what we have here is just a start, it's not completed by any means, it's just something thrown together that I threw together. You know, we have a real problem with parking on our streets and alleys and all that stuff. People leave stuff there forever and they never move it. And this is just an idea, it's not, you know, anything in stone. I think basically it's just for you guys to look at right now. One thing though, I think we really need to have a, you know, a thing where you're not allowed to park on the, you know, any trailer, camper, boat, machinery, or any other obstruction from like, let's say October 1st to May, whatever. You know, I think that's huge.
Just like Bismarck has.
Yes.
I agree.
And then, you know, and then, I mean, if there's a trailer that's unlicensed or not registered or a car, it can't be on the street, you know, stuff like that. And you gotta park your stuff in front of your own residence, not in front of somebody else. I mean, I think those are all huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are huge, you know, so I think it's something we really need to work on. I would like to have something started by maybe next meeting. And I'll be working on that, and if you got any ideas, let me know. Okay?
Okay, now, people that leave cars parked on the street and don't move them for 6 months to a year, are we going to do something with that too?
We need to.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem in the summer too, is you get these campers on there, they never move. They never move. You know, but if they do, it's maybe one weekend out of the year. You know, they don't need to be there. You know, and lately we've been having people, we put their slide outs out too. Like, oh my gosh, you know, it's really a hazard, really, so.
Yeah, and that's right near the downtown area too, they are.
Yeah. So, you know, need to maybe look at some other ordinances and stuff, but I think that we need to really work on this. And if you guys got any ideas?
You know, having the streets clear like that during snow removal makes a big difference too, especially if a car's left there all summer and it's still parking there. It's hard to get that machinery around those parked cars.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And it's a pain in the drain because then the next guy down the street
doesn't get his street plowed up to the curb then, because the machinery has to go around it and leave, what, 50 feet or so when you go around them?
Well, you have the gate, you put it down around that car, and then you're giving it to the next guy, all that snow.
Yeah, I get it then. I got a car out there right now sitting that's been all...
Well, we need to have something differentiate between summer and winter.
Absolutely.
Because there are, you know, and the thing we can't forget is we're in a small town. You know, I don't want to stop people from parking their camper or the boat. I mean, it's not everybody's got a place off street.
But wintertime is different.
Wintertime, they need to be off, but that's why, you know, look at some of the other towns, you know, example, Bismarck. I know there's, you know, rules that, you know, they allow camper, boat parking, you know, between whatever it is, say April 1st and October 30th, something, I don't know. There's probably other rules along with that, I just don't know. But I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel, but maybe look at some other towns that have similar ordinances. Look at that, you know, see if it fits us. You know, maybe it doesn't, maybe it does.
The campers, it's visibility. Like you said, the kids are playing, you don't know when they're going to step out from behind the camper, because you can't see them.
Well, some of these campers are behemoths.
That's what I mean.
Holy mackerel.
Well, let's put it this way. Those that are just about the size of a mobile home, mobile homes you have to have tie downs in.
Yeah.
Because of storms and stuff.
Yeah, right.
So, there's a problem there.
There's a problem. So.
But you're right, we don't want to completely do it, but we have to do something.
Especially for snow removal.
Well, yeah, no, if it's come, like you say, October 1st or thereabouts, those have to be off. You know, there shouldn't be a camper on any street after that point.
We're going to get some complaints too.
Well, you know what, though, it's for the safety of everybody, so.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, that's something we're working on, so put your thinking caps on, right? Updated tree ordinance. We have a chance to review that. The biggest change that we put in there was trimming of trees, shrubs, brushes. The owner or occupant of any private property within the city of Washington shall trim all trees, shrubs, or bushes bordering alleys, sidewalks, boulevards, or streets, so that the lowest branch or part thereof shall be trimmed 8 feet above such sidewalk and 15 above any such street or alley. The only thing I see change there, it shouldn't be or street, it should be and streets instead of or streets.
And that's a drivable alley, right? Not utility access, right?
Well, all alleys are drivable.
Right, but there's utility access, that's what I'm saying. Like behind my place, there's a utility trail.
Oh, yeah,
that's not an alley.
That's an easement.
Easement,
there's an easement in an alley.
Right, that's
right.
That's why I'm saying drivable alley, because that's easiest to understand.
Right. Well, like I said, that's an easement. Yeah. So, and really, this whole thing is a new ordinance, right? It's not just that one section. That change was from the one you presented last meeting.
Correct. Yeah, because our tree ordinance that we have was very vague. So we do look at other towns and other cities on what they have for ordinances to try and get ideas. So this one came from another small town, but then added this section in so that it stated for the boulevards and stuff who was responsible for it. So that was in a question.
Right, right. Because there was a question that I brought up last meeting is, you know, who has to take care of the stuff on the boulevard? Well, this basically says, it's your property, you have to take care of it. Kind of like sidewalks, you know. It's on the right of way, but you still have to take care of it. So.
Did you send out letters to people that have trees overlapping sidewalks and streets and stuff?
No, but we had it in the paper.
Have we started sending out fines for people that haven't been moving all their equipment and stuff away? That the yards are cluttered with all this stuff, tractors and...
Let's do this first.
Okay.
So, so do we want to do a first reading on this ordinance or no?
I don't want to do it today because there's not an ordinance number on there.
Okay,
And it wasn't stated on the agenda that it was a first reading.
okay, very good.
So I would rather wait till, if we're going to take this one, then that's great, then I can put it on there for the first reading, because then if an ordinance is going to be changed, right now we're talking about it, nothing's been done. So then when I post it for our next meeting, it will say first reading. Then after that one, people know that they can come in or write a letter to dispute the ordinance if they do not agree with it before the second meeting, and that's when it has to be published to the public that we are changing an ordinance.
Right,
Can-
perfect. So,
Can we make a change to it, even if we have a public reading of it? Can we still make changes to it?
yeah.
Do we have the species list on here?
I don't know, did you read it?
Well, that's, I read it,
Didn't you
but
read it?
I didn't see it in there. But it says, establish, maintain a variety of species. So we should have a list of species that we probably should accept. Is it,
Well, we're gonna have somebody that's gonna go around and monitor the species of trees?
well, but I mean,
No, then-
if you go to put them in the boulevard, we have our designated list.
I thought that that was a part of that.
I thought it was 2, but I don't see it. We should probably add that in.
Okay.
I just don't see it.
You might want to contact the tree board on that to,
Oh, there it is, planting distances, just talks about with the tree species size, so you're limited to 3 tree species?
No, size-wise, but that's why I'm wondering.
Trees.
Where are you talking about, Colin?
Section 3B1.
oh,
If you read that one, it talks about shall be in accordance with the 3 tree species size classes listed in section 3A of this ordinance.
okay, that has to do with size of the trees, I guess.
But they're species, so I don't know.
So why is species important?
Well, some of those only go 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know. But
You're
that-
referring to 2-3, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I just want to know that when somebody comes in and asks if they can plant a tree in the boulevard, these are our list of trees.
And I thought there was a list of that too, but.
But just so we have it ready for,
Yep.
Well, there should probably be a list somewhere that we should
Right.
probably put in here.
right,
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good idea.
and we can
Okay.
get that from forestry board or, you know, a recommendation or something. So we have that ready.
So the bishop bushes count then too?
Mm-hmm.
I
That
don't know
way-
why you want bushes on the boulevard.
Yeah, that's just, so you can't see through everything.
Yeah.
You know,
You
if
don't
you're
want it on
going,
the boulevard, bushes should not be on the boulevard.
yeah,
I mean, they shouldn't, they should just be trees.
yeah. At one time, our bushes ran all the way up to the street next to my house.
Yeah,
But that got taken back to the house so that people can see down the street.
right, yep,
But,
yeah. Yeah, bushes are definitely a problem, so.
yep,
I think that needs to be in there too.
yep.
'Cause there are some areas where there's bushes sticking on the corner where you can't see around.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a few of them around, absolutely.
Yep.
And if they're going to put little ones that are only 2 feet tall, that's not as serious, but if they go
No.
6 feet, that's a problem.
Well, if you do one, it's gotta do them all, you know?
Right, but I mean, people do the rock deals on the corners
Yeah.
with little,
Then they never take care of them, they're full of
Right.
grease. Yeah, I know. Okay, so that'll be for next meeting. Fire and tornado fund?
I met with Todd last week. They have, for Fire and Tornado Fund has been going around and looking at different properties across the city because they have been severely understated for what they're worth. This front sheet that I'd included with all your documentation are the recommended changes. They went around and increased a lot of the values to our buildings. I told him prior after we met to remove that we were looking at removing the 610 Main Avenue Green building, so that's where that credit comes from. But you can see the difference in all of these, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, where they were increasing the values after they went around and did like their inspection of it. We were informed of this at our spring conference too, because North Dakota Fire or Insurance Reserve was there, and they were talking about it with this new guy that has taken over, that they were finding in a lot of cities that they were undervalued. So they've been going around doing estimates and stuff. So you can see where the difference is and how much they increase the values for these if we'd want to accept it. So on top, our increase in coverage would be an additional $2,054,182,000. The prices on the right-hand side are the price increases that would go up if we wanted to accept this increase in value to all our property buildings. And then I had him add on the airport stuff with the new fueling system and stuff, so that was covered out there. It'd be an extra $736 to our bill, which would make our bill $5,937.39.
So, is this just buildings, or does it include the contents?
The contents too.
This is buildings and contents?
Yeah, so the Memorial Hall, we've listed out where I've had him include all the stuff that's been going on at the Memorial Hall. Our building would increase like our contents in here too, but just judging by the value of the buildings, they've been...
The Memorial Hall is only valued at $2,564,000.
We asked them last year and they came up and said it was good, and now they changed it this year, so it's however they're estimating it.
Because that kitchen upstairs alone is probably over $70,000.
Yeah, they've received everything that for that they've done up there, but that was one of the things they told us at spring conference too, was that they were finding a lot of these buildings that were undervalued.
Okay, so the question I had was, okay, the compound building, $344,000, but that includes what's in it.
Yes, as long as it's listed as to like what's going to be in there.
But I would say if it's just the building, man, if you can't build a pole barn for less than that, there's an issue.
And that one, he said we could probably leave alone if we choose to do that. He strongly suggests that we increase our city, Memorial Hall, and library buildings.
Right.
Now, wouldn't the library and the airport take care of theirs? They've been paying the bills for that.
They're covered under our insurance.
We've been covering the insurance on
all of them? Okay.
Stuff, yeah. So just a question. So, like they say, the compound burns down and the truck's in there. The truck would be covered under that.
I thought vehicles were always underneath the vehicles insurance.
I think the insurance vehicles is going to be covered with Farmers Union, but it's all the other contents and stuff that would be
if the payloader
under there and the building.
But the thing is, it would be
anything that licenses the license insurance.
Okay, say the sweeper's in there.
Right, the sweeper is not a license.
Would that be covered?
That's the question. Or the payloader. If the payloader would happen to be in there, would that be covered underneath that building?
Or the dump truck.
Dump truck is a licensed vehicle. Licensed vehicle has its own insurance.
Yeah, but for fire like that, a building fire?
That's what I've been told up at the farm.
But our loader's covered under that insurance too.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying.
But if it's in a building and the building burns down, are they going to cover it?
The license insurance on the vehicle is what covers that vehicle. The way I understand
That's for personal vehicle, but now we're talking government, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we'd have to double check.
We better check into that.
Because I would think, if it's going to cover the stuff that's in there, it should be covered no matter what's in there. But, so I find it hard to believe that, let's just say, like I said, we had the truck in there, and the thing burns down, if the vehicle insurance is going to go, oh yeah, not a problem, we're going to give you $50,000.
Yeah, but if that building burns down and you have vehicle insurance, but the vehicle's not moving at the time it burns down.
Right. So my point.
Well, I don't think that's how it is.
Better scenario would be not the dump truck is worth much, but we got a $150,000 payloader out here that we just got.
Yeah, but that's not licensed. That's what the kicker is.
No, but I'm saying, if it was parked up there at the compound and that building burned down, I look at
Well, how about parked in this building?
our valuation.
Yeah.
Same way.
You know, that's the thing.
Well, like the fire department does not include fire department contents. So our city office, fire department vehicle storage, which is 907 Main Avenue here, it just says does not include fire department contents.
Huh.
So that might not include our vehicles then that aren't licensed then.
Right. I think we need to check into that,
Yeah,
see what it all covers.
this is a heck of an increase.
I mean, let's face it, if the compound building burns down, it's not gonna cost $350,000 to put up a new pole building.
No,
It better not.
But
You know.
if that's the limit of the building and its contents,
Like I said.
yeah, you don't
But
know.
isn't that,
And then, do they appreciate it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, oh yeah, you've had that for 10 years, so it's only worth half of new.
some of them are on a depreciating schedule until they go to actual value. And depends on if they're on actual value or if they're on a depreciating schedule. And
So-
after so long, they can go to actual value.
Did we actually have an insurance adjuster come out and check this stuff, or not?
A guy, or
Did Todd come
female
in?
from, no, it's not Todd, it's from actual, the North Dakota Reserve.
So he actually came out and looked at the buildings?
Yeah. They've been doing an outside view because they have found a lot of cities that are severely understated, and it actually happened to a city who had a fire and lost a bunch of stuff, and they weren't covered for what they should have been. And I can't remember this guy's name, who took over, so, and it,
Better
yeah,
check
that's,
on that.
they asked about it, or said that they've been going around and checking different cities so they could get the value up for other cities that, in case of fires, tornadoes.
So, City Hall here just covers City Hall and not the fire department.
Hold on.
It includes the building, but not the content.
Now, like ours included in here are our cabinets, our computers, our, everything that's included in this building is what's included in this policy.
Okay, so
I
we
just
got a
don't- I
dump
don't
truck
think
parked in
vehicles
that-
are-
out there, so that wouldn't be covered then, huh?
I don't know. I don't know, we got pickups.
I didn't
and
mean to
everything.
interrupt you.
Who's our vehicle through?
Farmers Union.
Can we check with Mike,
Yeah, I have a meeting with Mike on Wednesday.
find out,
Mhm.
find out what's all covered then, if, trucks and if it's equipment or whatever, I don't know. I don't know.
Meet with him Wednesday.
I noticed the, water treatment plant isn't on here.
Well, they're not saying it's not on here, it just isn't increased. These are the increases or decreases, is what it is.
But we just had new filters put in, doesn't that increase the value of that?
Oh,
Right?
we just replaced them.
If you go down there on page whatever, 56, it's on there, water treatment plant and equipment.
This is an outside look of the building. It's whatever goes on in the inside, it is our responsibility to tell them what has been upgraded. So like I had to tell him and give him documentation of what was done at the Memorial Hall, for the price of the doors, for the price of the kitchen, everything that goes inside the contents. The building increase is just an observation of them being on the outside of what now with prices and everything, what it would entail to build a new building if we were to lose it. The coverage that we currently have is not enough, what they're saying, if this would come in and destroy our building, to replace it and put it back up to what we would need.
So we're gonna have to,
Yeah, I know what you're telling.
Could you hear it?
Yeah.
What do you mean, they heard it outside?
so we need to do that with the loader too, give them information that is now in our building for the insurance purposes.
But that wouldn't include all the new concrete they put in either then, huh?
I don't know if they talk about concrete being outside.
Yeah, I know, but if a building gets destroyed, most likely a parking lot's gonna get destroyed too. There's a lot of concrete in that next to the memorial building,
Mm-hmm.
both sides. I'm not trying to make life complicated, but there's a lot of concrete over there.
Mhm.
Front, or back and front and both sides.
I guess it would just be nice to know.
Yeah. So we can check into that. Or need to
Check into that, Joe.
Table for next meeting?
Yep.
Okay.
Dump truck purchase. So we've got some dump trucks we looked at here from, Van Truck Sales. The best way would be to go out and look at them. You know, obviously you're not gonna just buy one right sight unseen. We really need a truck. You know, I mean, it works. There's holes in the floorboard. I mean, you know, it's in dire shape. So, I don't know, Mike, you looked over the specs, what do you think? I mean, you know, different ones.
Kind of looking at the
there.
93 Kenworth.
That one there.
You know, if it looks good. What, our truck is a 81? Something like that?
It's old, yeah.
Yeah, it's old. So this is only 12, 13 years newer, something like that. So we gotta see if there's the same problems with this. You know, if the box is rusted through or bent or, you know, it's one of those. But that would be kind of my first choice to look at. And since these are all going to be in the same spot, right? If you're not to look at one, you could look at them all.
Oh, absolutely.
And go from there, because it may look good on paper, but it don't mean that it is.
Well, that's right, that's right.
So you start them up and...
Well, yeah, start off driving around. So, I guess, what I'm asking for is permission to go look at them and then, you know, make a decision possibly.
Yeah, to hold it and
You
with
know,
final approval and, yeah.
So, you know.
Yes, I would just soon see and decide on what we wanna spend, you know, based on what we see here.
Exactly.
If we got, you know, I don't have numbers here, but say we got a truck that's up to $60,000, okay, let's approve an amount not to exceed.
Right.
Based on what we see for trucks, if we go there and, find something that fits our bill and it's within our range.
This 55,000, I think, is the highest. So we could have approved.
And there might be a couple other ones there, I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know.
But we want an automatic, right, rather than
It
a
would be
stick
best,
shift?
it would be best.
Because we're not gonna be going up and down the road, we're gonna be going a block or two. It's just so much easier.
Can the guys drive stick shifts?
No.
Yeah, they can.
Both of them?
And
You too?
They can grind them just as good as anybody.
Yeah. Good for the mechanics.
Yeah. So what kind of, range are we talking here? High range?
60,000?
Do we have 60,000 to spend?
Well, this would come out of, it's infrastructure, so it would come out of sales and use.
Based on what I see here, you know, if there's something when we get out there, we can obviously revisit at that time, but from what I see here, you know, if we set a cap of 60,000,
I think that would be plenty.
you know, I'm not saying we gotta go there, it's probably gonna be less than that, but at least it's,
I would hope it's less.
you know, right.
Yeah, it's tires and all that stuff, you can't see any of that
Right.
right here.
Are tires expensive?
Yeah.
And I know, I was talking to him today, and he said, I know on one of them, he's gonna put new tires on for that price, so.
Yeah, I'm assuming snow are kind of the gripper tires.
I would imagine, but.
Because we're not, I mean, that thing doesn't see very little highway use, you know.
Right.
That's, we don't need, we're not gonna.
40,000 sounds like a good price on a truck. Good
That's a
range
very
for
good
us.
price on a truck.
Good range for us.
You know, and these are, you know, a lot of these are, they come from like California, you know, they're municipal trucks. The thing is down there, you know, they have a lot of money. They buy new old, huh?
Yeah, the EPA, because they have to meet emissions.
Oh, that could be.
That's a big thing, where they can ship them out this way, and we can pick them up because we're not
Yeah.
cut down.
We don't do the, yeah.
That's how we get tractors out of Europe, because we can do that, and they jockey tractors.
So we don't have to have, heaters on these things, or, for the winter time if it parks outside or whatever?
Well, we gotta see what it's on there.
Yeah, well, you know,
We'll see what's on there. but-
obviously they don't list every little detail on here, but.
Right.
Yeah, it
that's-
doesn't
that's
have air
standard.
dryers on it, doesn't, you need air dryers, and that's basically more than anything, because most of the time these trucks are inside.
Right, the truck would be in the compound building.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
so,
Yeah, it's-
yeah.
so-
That's not
You know
unique,
it
is it?
No, but it helps, you know, being out of the wind and cold.
But if we know that we have to have it, it can be moved over in this one when it's really cold and where I need
Does
it.
it fit in our building
Oh, God,
over here?
yes. Oh, God, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in this one, yes, not the white one.
Pardon?
Not the white one, but this one over here, yeah.
Not across the street, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can get the loader and a truck in over here, right? Both of them at the same
Usually
time?
if we have to put the truck in, we have to leave our, truck outside, our regular
Pickups.
driving truck, pickups, yeah.
Yeah, but those are gas, they'll start.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
That's not a problem, where the other ones,
So we're talking about this dump truck here. Did we want to spend the money on this dump truck even though we might have an issue with one of the lawnmowers and such?
Well, we need a dump truck, so.
Okay,
Okay. We do, I mean, we just do.
Yeah, I know, and I brought that up.
and we
too,
might
that
get other money in for infrastructure or something anyway.
But I know, you know, I mean, but we put, this is not a budget item, this is a,
Right,
you know,
a plus item.
right.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we, proceed with looking at a truck not to exceed $60,000.
I'll second that.
Okay, further discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, the next thing, who wants to go to Glendive with me? Thursday won't work.
Ken, you looking this week or next week?
I'd like to go this week if possible, but, you know.
Let me revisit possibly Wednesday.
Too bad I'm going to Deadwood. I'm going to Deadwood this weekend.
Yeah, and I'm going to Montana on Monday.
Well, there you go, on the
Towards
sweet road.
Glendive.
Just so you know, I mean, when we go look at this thing, we wouldn't be picking it up that day.
No.
Just so you know.
You could look on it on the way through,
Yeah, or on the way back.
or on the way back.
All right, I'll take those, thank you. Okay, moving on. Public Works employee. We've gotten to the point where we need to start looking for another Public Works employee. I think we need to write a new ad and, you know, probably advertise it for a month and a half and get it way out there, so.
And with some serious qualifications too.
Hopefully, yeah.
Technical.
Water plant.
Mhm.
I know that, at least, the city of Garrison has been looking for a water plant operator for a while, they've had no luck. So I don't know if you're gonna get anybody with water plant.
Would you want to live in Garrison?
Well.
That was bad. Well, that's why we're gonna end up going probably further out, so. We are the best voted city in the county, so. Okay, so I make a motion that we advertise for a public works employee.
Second.
And then, once we get an ad figured out,
Yep.
once we get an ad, we'll go through it, and then we'll try and
Yep.
figure out a salary and all that stuff, so, okay.
Mhm.
All right, Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. A2S update. Did you you got an email from Eric, right?
I did, yes.
He didn't say much.
He didn't. It had like nothing in it. Just
Same stuff we
Yeah.
updated.
Oh, so he sent you a new FEMA thing, right?
Yes, I have that
Yeah,
printed
I
in your
need to
thing.
sign.
I just didn't want to bring it in here to get lost in your mumbo jumbo of papers. That was really all that was on there for that updated one that needs to be signed and sent back.
Right. So, there was an issue because I just signed a FEMA letter, was yesterday or the day before, and they said, yeah, this isn't good, so then he wrote another one. And we're trying to get about another, what, $1.5 million from FEMA or something like that.
Yeah, there's more money.
Okay. Portfolios?
Nothing really other than, bring it up, back when the street project was done on Main, after that, about once every year and a half, I've been having issues with my sewer lines backing up. I've got a sewer camera videoed it, and the new section what they replaced has got a extreme low spot in it.
In from the sewer to your place or in the main line?
It's in the main line where that was dug up or replaced when...
You're talking about in the street?
In the street. It appears to be out in the street, yes.
Okay.
I guess, since that's been done, I've spent about $1,000 myself cleaning it out, because I thought it was just tree roots, and then when it happened again, there was no tree there anymore, so I ended up videotaping it, and yeah, it's pretty obvious there's a low spot where everything's just building up in there.
So basically, I think what we need to do is we need to dig it up, and then, depending on where it is, will depend on who pays for it. If it's from the curb to the street, we pay for it. If it's from the curb in, he pays for it. I mean, that's just the way it always is.
Yep.
That's where, is that the curb line?
That's why I was wondering
Yeah.
what the camera saw.
But it
We
looks
gotta
like
take
it's
care
in
of
the
it.
street, so we would dig up part of the street, so.
Yeah, just from looking at it and where I measured, it doesn't appear that the sidewalk or the gutter would have to be disturbed.
Just the main street.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, nothing you can do about it.
well, line up Chris.
Put a pump on there and a check valve. You won't have that problem.
You're gonna line that up with Chris, you guys? Good.
Do that.
Hopefully, tear up as little street as possible.
Right. That's what I'm hoping, yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get into the sidewalk and stuff.
Right. Are we having any issues with river level?
Not yet,
Okay.
but.
I haven't heard what are the flows down to now.
It was really low today.
It's gonna get lower.
They're gonna get down to 13.5 CFS.
Tell them we can't go
in
below.
about 10 days or so.
Tell them we can't go below 14.
13 is what is historically.
But you
Yeah.
tell them 14 because
We
then
gotta-
we're safe.
We gotta take
They
the
must
top off.
remember that we told them 13 at some point, because they're stopping at 13.5. But there's no guarantee
Well,
that
that's-
things haven't changed in a year or two.
Exactly.
We gotta take the top off of it though to hit the 13.5, right? That's what.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, because we took that off.
No,
That's a different intake there. The one that's there now should be good.
we took the top off when the other one was
Yep.
covered with sand from the
Yep,
flood.
yep.
So that was different, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
The one by the pier, yep.
Yeah, and I guess I was gonna bring it up later, but do we want to set up that temporary pump just in case? They're going to 13.5. We set it up a couple of years ago, and we never used it, but it was ready to go if we needed it.
I would
think we
say,
should.
I don't know, because since then, we've got it, they trenched in power underneath, so we don't have all that hassle anymore, right?
Yes.
Because they've got
Yeah.
that pedestal right there. I don't know that we necessarily need to set it up, but I would like to see somebody go down there and make sure that everything's there. It's kind of ready to go on a moment's notice if we gotta grab it.
Is this electric or motor?
It's electric.
Electric, okay.
How long does it take to set up?
I don't know, it took a while last time because we did all that electrical work.
Right.
And then Mike had to work on the panel side of it for a while, and theoretically it should just be plug and play, but we don't know.
I'm not.
Do you have like a switch you have to,
I'd have
change,
to.
No, he'd have to switch it over in the computer.
And I don't know, I have to check with Jamie to find out. Like I say, he wired it out, but I don't know if he's gotta actually make a change in the intake building down below.
I know Mike does, but I don't know if he
Yeah,
does.
I don't remember what he did there, so. Let me
Probably-
check with Jamie tomorrow and find out.
Probably best to set it up and a trial run just in case
Yeah.
something isn't right.
Yeah, like I mean, it's only been 2 years since it was running, but, I mean, it's old, so. you know,
it wouldn't hurt to have it set up.
for-
Yeah,
for-
and tested, or, so we know what we have to
You
do.
know, 'cause it'll take probably a day, to get everything set up and.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it doesn't hurt to just, especially because I don't think Lee and Matt have never been involved with that.
No.
Right.
So at least it gives them some training and background on what to do if something happens. So.
Right.
Just in case we got a tight bearing on a motor or on a pump or something, and we have to address it.
How much is that pump to replace? Expensive?
Probably, yeah, that thing,
Yeah.
how old is that thing?
That's pretty old.
We've never, at least since the new water plant was put in, we've never actually used it. We set it up to be used, but it's never come to where we actually use it.
Yeah.
It's gotta be 20 years old, isn't it?
Oh, at least, it's old, no, it's older than that.
At least that much, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors one of my friends who lives down the river, he said they could get down to 9,000 this year,
Better not.
We're in trouble then.
because they already got some notices in the mail.
Okay, so you'll get that set up. Okay. Anything else, Colin?
No, that's all I got.
Mike?
Only thing, the Legion's going to take out the stove downstairs, the old one, that I looked at and I see no value in that.
Okay.
And when that goes outside, if it's before the cleanup, when they decide to do it, if we can just take the payloader and take it to the compound so it's ready to go.
Let Adam know.
Yep, just,
Is that the one that's in the art room now, or?
no, the big Vulcan or whatever, that great big
The beast.
old
Oh,
beam.
the one that has the flat top on it?
It's in the back corner?
Well, it's, yeah.
Storage
it's in-
room or whatever?
No, it's in the kitchen, yeah.
In the kitchen.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were gonna get that out of there, so it's gonna be manpower and they'll get it out the door and then we just gotta get it.
What's that one in the back corner that, Adam, you were?
It's a griddle.
No, that was that old beast.
You changed that one out
They
in the
switched one out at
store.
one point.
Yeah.
And I
No,
think
no,
that,
no, remember back in the, whatever corner it is, the
In the furnace room, you mean?
southeast corner? No, in the Memorial Hall, basement?
Yeah?
Back in that way corner when you guys were cleaning that old storage room out that day, there was that old
Southeast.
stove
that
thing.
thing. That's just like a old camp flat top thing that, I don't know, I don't know, is it still even there?
Well, I don't know, that's what I.
We might have tossed it with the rest of the,
Oh.
junk, I don't know if it's
Okay.
gone or not. I think it's probably gone,
Okay.
yeah, so.
Yeah, just so we get it out.
Done?
No, I was just kinda curious how our janitor's doing, that's the only question I had.
Good, we talked about it last week.
Pardon?
Said good, we talked about it last week. We'll now get a better idea of with activities and the Memorial Hall being used and daily again now, so.
Okay.
Been good here though.
So, the cleanup letters that we sent out, very, very poor response. Like, really poor response, so, we need to figure out what we want to do with that. I did talk with David. He said, give me a list. Might have to go to Huntsy. Yeah. So, he said he thought maybe a phone call from him on some of them would work, and then otherwise he might have to go to the judge, so. I mean, I don't want to fine people, I just want them to clean up their stuff. You know, that's what I want. I don't like finding people. But you know, it devalues everybody's property when you have crap around. So I'll get a hold of David and we'll go from there, I guess. So we want to keep going with this, correct?
I would.
Okay, very good.
We've had a couple people call with, I know, 2 of the letters that went out with their neighbors' concern too, so other people are realizing it and it's becoming an issue.
Okay.
Just some feedback from others around town that are noticing it for their neighbors.
And I will talk to you about that, so, okay.
Any word on that green building?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I was wondering, you know, with as busy as it is getting down at the softball field and the soccer field by the water treatment plant, and I'm just throwing this out there, it might not be a bad idea to get a crossing on 3rd Street. That would be, you know where, how would I say that? You know where 3rd Street is? It's the one, it's the last street going up the hill on the way out of town that way. Goes up that big hill, goes up toward Stork Norquist.
Yeah.
That's 3rd Street.
Right.
So if you go Main and you take a left and go down there, that's where the Fleeger lift station is. There could possibly be a railroad crossing there. I don't know if the railroad would want to do that.
They don't like to put more crossings in because of liability and stuff.
Well, we got like 3 in a row down here, not that far apart.
No, but that's what I was saying the other day, I mean, those are put in years and years ago.
Yeah, I know.
But anymore, it's like, I know they're.
Yeah, really touchy.
And I get that.
You can't look at
And
it.
like I said,
Request, you know.
I was thinking, you know, if I would just, you know, contact them and see what their thoughts are.
Yeah,
I mean, it is getting to be so congested down
Yes,
there.
that is.
It's a
full.
bad spot for that whole complex down there.
Yes,
It's really bad.
but I don't know what to do about it.
So what I will do, I'll probably get a hold of them, just see what their thoughts are. You know?
Doesn't hurt to ask, and
Yeah.
ask questions, you know. maybe.
Yeah.
Right, I'll ask.
But I don't know how that's gonna alleviate many things with the crossing down there.
Well, it's, you know, people that live down there don't have to
Right.
go through there.
Right, through that deal, but yeah, it's really bad right now.
You know, and not only that, you know, we've got that emergency exit that some
Yeah.
people just keep driving down, they're not supposed to, but they do. And then we could get rid of that. Then that would be just shut off, and then they, you know, can stay the heck off of it. So, just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll last them. What's the story on the Unimog?
So, with the Friday, they grabbed the Unimog, brought it back.
Ran good?
For the time being, it's running well. They ran it around today again this morning. What they told me is that they found a spotty wiring harness connection and cleaned it up and reattached it. So here's hoping. There's no guarantee because before it was sporadic in its problems, so it still could crop up again, but I have them running it every morning, training Matt on how to use it as well at the same time. So hopefully, if there's still a problem, it'll
Have
show up.
you started training Matt on road grader?
Yeah, they're working on that first.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have. Chelsea?
I found out last week our air compressor was not working in the back.
Hmm?
So I called Benco today.
Oh.
They came and looked at it. 2 of the 3 capacitors blew up. They are going to try to get 2 of those and to fix it, to see if that works. They did ask, did that roof leak ever back there?
It did, yes.
Okay, because they think that that could have maybe caused an issue. They saw some rusting back there. It just took until now for that to happen. They don't normally see that. If that doesn't fix it, it could be a motor issue, possibly $1,200 to fix it, but they're going to replace these capacitors and then go from there to see where we're going. And then the other thing, is there a surge protector back there?
But a compressor, not 220 on surge.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
it's
not for that.
I didn't think so.
And the capacitors, that's just normal from years of use. You gotta replace them, that's just normal. And what is it, Eggers? No, electric?
Eggers Electric,
Yeah, we just have, you know, and it's not that expensive to have them fix it.
Right.
What's that air compressor for? Just shop air or what?
I believe it only does our shop.
The fire department?
It goes to the fire department too.
They have their own?
No.
They do for one of those new trucks, that it goes off that new air compressor for like 1 or 2 of the trucks, but there are still a few of the trucks that ran off this air compressor.
They have their own air compressor?
Yeah, for one of the newer trucks, it's really expensive. Clayton was telling me about it last Friday when I called him to let him know that if a call came out that they don't have air to it, and 2 or 3 of the trucks are still ran off this one here.
How big is that compressor?
60 gallon.
Huh?
It's
Pretty good size.
1,600 gallon, something like that.
Yeah.
I looked at it, or saw it back there, it's not.
I've seen it, is that an upright or a horizontal?
Upright. And I don't think that has more.
Tank, you know, big tank?
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's the big blue thing back in the corner.
Probably a 60 or an 80.
No, those motors aren't that expensive.
Well, because I bought at work last year a new Quincy, nice compressor, and it was $1,400 at Runnings.
Yeah.
And we don't use enough
The
air.
thing is though, you know, over the years when I worked here, I mean, capacitors would go out, we'd change them and then it didn't work. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then when I found out about it, I said, it's the capacitor, I told them exactly what it was. And it sounds like that's exactly what it was.
And sometimes you gotta change the circuit breaker because those circuit breakers get weak after a while on those traps, you know. And that's the first thing you do is capacitor, circuit breaker, check the motor for a short.
Yeah.
Nothing to it.
No, it's just, you know, if they get to the point where we gotta
Yeah.
throw a $1,200 motor at it,
No.
let's replace the compressor.
Well, right, yeah. Exactly.
Well, the pumps
They
are-
were just here letting us know all of our options of what's going on and what could possibly be
Do
an
they have any
issue.
idea when they'll be back to fix it?
I'm not sure if they told Eric before they left when they walked out, but I don't think it would take long. It didn't sound like.
Well, I would hope, because it's really nice to have air.
Yeah, well, usually Weber probably has capacitors on hand. Usually, that's where
I
we
don't
get
know.
ours.
Anyway, so anything else, Chelsea, or?
Yes. Would it be, if an employee needed a new phone that is on our plan, would the city pay for it and we could just do it as a payroll deduction out of their paycheck every 2 weeks for a certain dollar amount, and then it would have to be a signed contract or whatever stating that in the case of termination either by the city or by the employee that the remaining balance on that phone would be taken out of his last paycheck, or instead of having to pay for an $8,000 phone outright.
Someone that just got a new phone through the city for $700, this also interests me, but I was not the one that brought this up.
Well, the city's not paying for it, it's just deducted out of your thing. Deducted out of your pay. Yeah, they don't pay.
Yeah,
they
it
don't
would
pay-
be an employee deduction, but instead of having to pay $700 up front, like you just gave us the check.
Nice try.
It would just be,
So what do you think, $100 a pay period? I mean, I wouldn't wanna run it very long, but.
I mean, to me, I would probably.
Yes.
Is it easy to track from a payroll standpoint?
yeah. Because I can just put a balance in there and I can just have a payroll deduction so that when it's set up to that account, it would balance out to zero when it would be done.
Because you get paid every 2 weeks.
Correct.
So
To me,
just 100 would be a lot for every 2 weeks.
So
You know,
50 every 2 weeks?
Yeah,
or what?
50 or 25.
100 a month or whatever.
25, I think. is what
Well, that
we're
would be
thinking.
50 a month.
I'm
you know.
thinking 100 a month. That's what I'm thinking.
I was thinking to have it done in 2 months, 4 pay
Because he
periods,
was put on
be
a
done.
new First Net plan,
You know, that way it's done.
wasn't he offered a free phone?
Not that I was told.
Like, they offered to upgrade me, my old phone for free, and I'm like, well, just give me a newer one. So he could've got a considerably newer phone than he has now for free, probably.
Well, I can double check with, when I switched them over and did all this, she never mentioned that, but I can definitely ask that,
Yeah.
if that's still the same thing now that was ran when you
Yeah.
switched over.
Because when I was switched over to FirstNet, I also got a discounted phone, considerably discounted, like
Okay.
$200.
I'll definitely ask.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have a big problem with it, but I don't want it to extend very long.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm, yeah, just me, I'm thinking a couple months. No, definitely no more than 3 months. That would be, what, 6 pay periods?
So if it's a $600 phone, it'd be $200
Well,
a month?
That's a lot.
$600 phone, it'd be, yeah, that'd be $100 a pay period, $200 a month. If it's $1,000 phone, it'd be
I would say 6 months,
6 months.
tough.
These phones are
We're
expensive,
talking
yes,
of-
they're very
We're only
expensive.
talking of, you know, what's $1,000 phone?
I'm gonna guess that they'll probably give a very discounted phone if you ask. I wonder if they maybe thought he already had a good phone.
I'll ask her about it.
Yeah.
See, what I'm wondering though is, you know, you don't want to get it so it's like $25 a month, because then you're gonna be 2 years down the road and you're still not gonna pay for it.
Well, that's
It's
what
just
the
stupid if you
contracts,
don't, you know.
that's what the
You
contracts
know, but
run
we're not
into.
in the phone business, so, you know, this would be just kind of like helping them out. But at the same time, you know, I would say 4 to 6 months. Depending on the phone, I mean, depending on the price. I mean, if it's $300,
Well, yeah.
well then, you know, it doesn't need to go 6 months. You know, $50 a pay period. That's what I'm gonna say.
$100 a month, yeah, that's.
Does that sound reasonable?
What do you think, Colin? That's $100 a month.
Yeah. $100 a month, it's $1,000 phone, now we're stretching it out again, so that, and, you know, I just,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, it's $100 a, you know, what's $200 a month, I'm thinking, but maybe some people it's a lot, I don't know.
That could be a lot for some
For
people.
you, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be $2,000
Whatever.
So when can we start deducting that out of your
So-
check?
Yeah.
How do we determine how much we're gonna spend on the phone for them then?
We're not spending it,
They are.
They're essentially paying
I
it
know,
back.
but
Yeah.
how much are we gonna actually pay off of a phone then? Are we gonna pay the whole thing?
We don't pay any of it.
I mean, are they gonna,
If it's
you know
not-
what I'm trying to say?
We would pay the whole thing and they would pay us back.
Yes.
Oh.
So when I get the phone bill, if the new phone was on there, like Adam just already said it, so I'll use him as an example. He went and got down and got a new phone. It was billed to the city. So when I paid our last AT&T bill, I don't think it was in this one, our bill was over $700 when normally it's like $106
This one, yeah.
because it included his phone. But he brought in a check right away, gave it to the city, I deposited it, so it's a wash. Like, we already received that money.
I didn't see that, so you're gonna pay another check.
I have record.
Oh.
Now, instead of paying that $700 up front, we would just pay it and do a deduction out of his paycheck every single pay period until it is paid off.
So where did that money come out of then? If you paid that AT&T, where would that $600 come out of then?
It's not the general fund. I mean,
Then our phone bill comes out of the same one.
And then you just reimburse that?
It goes into a revenue account, but, I mean, yeah, because I can't.
From
It would
an,
wash.
so from an accounting standpoint, as far as reporting to the state, that's not an issue. As far as checks and balances, doing it that way.
No, because then I would have the payroll deduction, the record of that, to match then with that it's being paid out
And they
of.
could pay it off anytime?
I would say, you know,
Yes,
let's
and then
do
just
a-
tell me like, I just take the remaining $200 out, then I can just adjust the payroll deduction, have it
Okay.
taken out, and it would be done.
I'm gonna make
Let's just do
suggestions.
it.
I'm gonna make suggestions. Has to be at least $50 a pay period, and it can't go longer than 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months maximum, I was gonna
Yep,
say, let's
I agree.
just
Right.
put a
so
cap
that-
on it at 6
If they need
months.
75 a month, 100 a month, whatever it comes, if they need 125 a month, that's what it's gonna be, you know?
If you can do it 3 months, then do it 3 months, if it's, but not
Okay.
to exceed 6 months, you know.
So I'm gonna make a motion that will allow that, it's gonna be, they have to pay at least $50 a pay period, and it cannot be longer than 6 months.
I'll second
Colin?
that. Aye.
Aye. Yes.
Yes. I mean, we don't wanna drag this out, so.
Okay, just a reminder, if you will be in here, Eric and I will be gone on Friday.
Is that this Friday? Dang it. I might be in
And-
Glendive on Friday.
Well, you've known about this for... Our special election is on Monday, and we have received no bids so far for the green building. I've had a couple people inquire and sent them the more documentation. Also, we did receive, and it's in our bills to be paid, our invoice from Weber for the slate pool to be fixed. I made a copy of it, and an invoice will be going out to the resident that hit it to be hit, whether they turn it into their insurance, however they do it, but
Right.
I'll send a copy of the Weber invoice and with an invoice from the City of Washburn payable to us for the
Was the
price.
light fixture damaged too or not?
Yes. And yeah, so they're gonna get both those invoices.
Then you gotta have the light fixture too.
There's light pole and the light.
Was it all in one? I'm pretty sure. No.
Two.
Well, then they don't have it. Okay, yeah.
There's 2 different bills in there. One's for the light, one's for the pole.
Yep. Oh yeah, because the 9th Street and
Right.
the Hill and Main Street, so those ones will be,
Okay.
they're paid with this one, but I'm gonna invoice them to the resident that it was hit, so.
Okay. So the office might be closed on Friday if I go to Glendive. Otherwise, I will be here.
And then I'll be back and forth on Monday between here and the hall for the special election.
That's gonna be held over there or here?
Over at the hall.
Oh.
It's not big enough here.
Huh?
It's not big enough here.
Were you expecting Grand Central Station
Yes, I
coming in?
am. I'm expecting more than 20 people.
Not at one time.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
You know what? Everybody votes at the hall. You don't want to start changing things. Okay. Adam?
We covered a lot of it already. I signed our other 2 guys up for some basic computer training classes through VSC. I believe it was $125 each. I think the course was that $125? I think that's what it was.
Wasn't it just 100?
The bill's in there, yeah.
Yeah.
115 maybe. Anyway, it wasn't that much. I think it goes over 3 months.
Is that online or what?
It's online.
Yes.
They do it at work or at home?
It starts this week, so we'll see what the workload's like. I said they could do some of it here. One of them has, he has no access to computers at home or Wi-Fi. So.
I believe he has Wi-Fi now.
He does now?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, let's just say they desperately need these computer training classes.
Okay.
There was a water main break on 4th Avenue last week that was picked up pretty easily. And today we finally got around to fixing our GIS shooting program. And I did a bunch of that here on Main Avenue as a test, and it works. It's a little finicky, but it's going to be a lot of work to do the whole town, but I mean, it's working now, so.
So you're training the guys on that too?
I will. I just wanted to make sure it was working.
Okay.
You know.
They might need you down at boxes down there.
Oh. Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, anything else?
No.
I have something for Adam. That one tractor that Matt was using was slipping gears on him. Did he tell you?
Yes. The big one, the
Yeah.
big mowing tractor? Yeah, we've known that third gear slipped forever.
That must be the only gear.
We took it up to them and they, I think it was agreed that we never really use third gear, so we'll just be fine with it. Well, I found out that Matt was mowing in third gear. I told him that was probably too slow to mow, but since he was new to it, it was probably fine.
Right.
He should go faster than that.
Yeah.
Third gear is the only one that does slip.
Well, there should be more than one, because they go between brake and clutches. There should be another one, either higher up or lower down.
It could be lower down because.
Yeah, there has to be another one, how that works, because they
Yeah, we don't
jump
use
back
one
and
and
forth.
two at all, so.
Right.
So that's not gonna be an issue with third gear then?
No, it's been like that for years.
Okay, I just don't want it failing and then,
Yeah.
you know, we didn't do anything about it.
Well, the price is the same either way.
What do you mean?
Whether you burn it all the way up and you fix it, or you leave it the way it is. That's how it always works. Because you go in there and you replace everything when you're in there.
Or you buy something else.
Or you buy something else.
Okay.
But nothing new.
Anything
Okay.
else? Rhonda? Nothing? Bills? We have a chance to review the bills?
Motion to approve the bills?
Second.
Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, with that, next meeting, October 11th.
We will not.
Stop.
Nope.
Are we going to
Oh.
call a special meeting, to approve our budget, because that is due to the county October 10th? Sorry, I was gonna bring that up and I forgot. And our meeting is October 11th.
Well, October 10th on a Sunday. So it has to be,
My time is very soon. They technically should
Well,
be turned in October 9th,
we could,
It's
the 8th then.
by rights, we could approve our budget now. Because there's a hearing and nothing has changed. Right? So we could approve it tonight.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any changes? I don't think there's any.
What about that free money that we were gonna get? Now, does that go into our budget or not?
That's
No.
theoretically not free money because it is, but it's gotta be for certain things. It's not going into our general fund.
Right.
Their recommendation is to put it into a capital project fund. That way.
That's part of the budget though, isn't it?
No.
No.
Not really.
Because
Okay.
we can't go buy a dump truck with it. It's got to be used for certain projects, and it's got to be tracked. It has to be very detailed. So I
It
would.
could go to our water plant fund, right? I mean, our water treatment, or intake fund, if we
Yes,
wanted, or
yes,
something like
because
that.
that's where it can go, but it can't,
Or storm sewer or something.
I would not want to just have it sit in our general fund.
I agree, yeah.
So that would be off someplace by itself then?
Mhm.
That we can designate later on what to use it for?
Yep. We have to, by 2024, I think is when it has to be designated as to what we're using it, and then
I
I
thought it was
think
2022.
designated by 2022?
Yeah, like October 2022.
Maybe that's what it was.
Something like
Spent
that.
by the 24th,
Something like that, yeah.
or 2024.
I just don't wanna be caught with, money that we're not gonna really know what we can do with.
Oh, we can find.
Oh, we'll
find
always
use for it.
find some, we can always make,
But it- yeah,
or make up a project.
Well, let me ask this, does anybody have any changes to the budget? I think it's a good budget.
I make a motion, we approve the budget as
It's the final budget.
approved final budget.
Okay. I'll second that. Discussion. Thing is, you can't add to it, you can take away, but you can't.
Can't add to it now,
No.
after we vote for it.
Right, you can't add like,
We couldn't even add to it now, because what was submitted for our preliminary budget,
right,
you can't increase our mills. We can only decrease it.
right.
My only question, do we want to wait till after the election to do this, just in case there's some input by a new board member? Yeah, I'm just asking.
I don't think we need it.
I don't think at that point, they're gonna have enough knowledge of everything that's going on to make a difference,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough for a new board member.
Right, but I mean, you know, that would be my only concern.
Well, like I said, you can't add to it, so.
We would have to call a special meeting then to accept our new board member before we would be able to
Right.
have,
Mhm.
accept our
Yeah.
budget then too. Just,
I'm
so,
just.
yeah, no, just so that that's, oh, you're aware of that too.
I think we should just do it now and then it's done. And- You have discussion, Colin?
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, one other thing too, you say that, so our bids are due on the green building on the 24th.
Correct.
Are we gonna wait till September 13th to do anything like that? That's a long time.
Today is September 13th.
Huh?
today is September 13th.
You mean October 11th?
October 11th. That's what I meant.
Say what you mean what you said.
I will not be here the 11th. Sorry.
So I'm thinking we might need a special meeting anyway, like say on the 27th of September, just to review those.
Well, can we put the board, or the election will be over with and certified, right? Can we do that all at the same time, put that board member on, or commission member?
Yeah, as long as it's,
As long as there's no issues.
as long as it's on the agenda.
Right,
Certified.
as long as-
Usually it goes through board of canvassing and it's all done and no issues.
It should be certified by then, it's a week later, right?
Yeah, usually I think it's a week, the following week is when they have to have it. I know, like, the normal election, it's Monday, and then the following Monday is usually when we have all the results.
Okay, so I'm gonna call a special meeting for September 27th at 6:30. The item agendas are a new board member and,
One meeting a month.
um,
We're doing one a
and
month.
to review the bids for the green building.
Proper planning.
Everybody can make it.
I'll be going on the 20th.
That's right, you will.
Yep, I'm going.
All right, anything else? Next meeting, October 11th. No, next meeting is
27th.
27th,
Oh.
papers, crazy.
I didn't win, they didn't call me a win.
October 11th.
And here's the wind tower people that are, trying to get in the
With that,
county.
meeting adjourned.